A Passage to India, Chapter 6, Part 2. Most certainly, my career is a failure, and my sons will be badly brought up. Since it was certain, he strove to avert it, and looked at some notes he had made on a case at the hospital. Perhaps someday a rich person might require this particular operation, and he gain a large sum. The notes, interesting him on their own account, he locked the photo up again. Its moment was over, and he did not think about his wife any more. After tea, his spirits improved, and he went round to see Hamdullah. Hamdullah had gone to the party, but his pony had not, so Aziz borrowed it, also his friend's riding breeches and polo mallet. He repaired to the Maidan. It was deserted except at its rim, where some bazaar youths were training. Training for what? They would have found it hard to say, but the word had got into the air. Round they ran, weedy and knock-kneed. The local physique was wretched, with an expression on their face not so much of determination as of a determination to be determined. Maharaja Salam, he called for a joke. The youth stopped and laughed. He advised them not to exert themselves. They promised they would not, and ran on. Riding into the middle, he began to knock the ball about. He could not play, but his pony could, and he set himself to learn, free from all human tension. He forgot the whole damn business of living as he scurried over the brown platter of the Maidan, with the evening wind on his forehead and the encircling trees soothing his eyes. The ball shot away toward a stray subaltern, who was also practicing. He hit it back to Aziz and called, "Send it along again." "All right." The newcomer had some notion of what to do, but his horse had none, and forces were equal. Concentrated on the ball, they somehow became fond of one another and smiled when they drew rein to rest. Aziz liked soldiers. They either accepted you or swore at you, which was preferable to civilians hauteur, and the subaltern liked anyone who could ride. "Often play?" he asked. "Never. Let's have another chukker." As he hit, his horse bucked, and off he went, cried, "Oh, God!" and jumped on again. "Don't you ever fall off?" "Plenty." "Not you." They reined up again, the fire of good fellowship in their eyes. But it cooled with their bodies, for athletes can only raise a temporary glow. Nationality was returning, but before it could exert its poison, they parted, saluting each other. If only they were all like that, he thought. Now it was sunset. A few of his co-religionists had come to the Maidan and were praying with their faces toward Mecca. A Brahmani bull walked toward them, and Aziz, though disinclined to pray himself, did not see why they should be bothered with the clumsy and idolatrous animal. He gave it a tap with his polo mallet. As he did so, a voice from the road hailed him. It was Dr. Panna Lal, returning in high distress from the collector's party. Dr. Aziz, where have you been? I waited 10 full minutes' time at your house. Then I went." "I'm so awfully sorry. I was compelled to go to the post office." One of his own circle would have accepted this as meaning that he had changed his mind, an event too common to merit censure. But Dr. Lau, being of low extraction, was not sure whether an insult had not been intended, and he was further annoyed because Aziz had buffeted the Brahmani bull. "Post office? Do you not send your servants?" he said. "I have so few, my scale is very small." "Your servant spoke to me. I saw your servant." "But Dr. Lal, consider, how could I send my servant when you were coming? You come, we go, my house is left alone. My servant comes back perhaps, and all my portable property has been carried away by bad characters in the meantime. Would you have that? The cook is deaf. I can never count on my cook. And the boy is only a little boy. Never, never do I and Hassan leave the house at the same time together. It is my fixed rule." He said all this and much more out of civility to save Dr. Lal's face. It was not offered as truth and should not have been criticized as such. But the other demolished it, an easy and ignoble task. Even if this so, what prevents leaving a chit saying where you go, and so on? Aziz detested ill-breeding and made his pony caper. "Farther away, or mine will start out of sympathy," he wailed, revealing the true source of his irritation. "It has been so rough and wild this afternoon. It spoiled some most valuable blossoms in the club garden and had to be dragged back by 4 men. English ladies and gentlemen looking on, and the collector Sahib himself taking a note. But Dr. Aziz, I'll not take up your valuable time. This will not interest you, who have so many engagements and telegrams. I am just a poor old doctor who thought right to pay my requests when I was asked and where I was asked. Your absence, I may remark, drew commentaries." "They can damn well comment." "It is fine to be young. Damn well. Oh, very fine. Damn whom?" "I go or not as I please." "Yet you promise me, and then fabricate this tale of a telegram. Go forward, Dapple." They went, and Aziz had a wild desire to make an enemy for life. He could do so easily by galloping near them. Dapple bolted. He thundered back on to the Maidan. The glory of his play with the subaltern remained for a little. He galloped and swooped till he poured with sweat, and until he returned the pony to Hamdullah's stable, he felt the equal of any man. Once on his feet, he had creeping fears. Was he in bad odor with the powers that be? Had he offended the collector by absenting himself? Dr. Panalal was a person of no importance, yet was it wise to have quarreled even with him? The complexion of his mind turned from human to political. He thought no longer, "Can I get on with people?" but, "Are they stronger than I?" breathing the prevalent miasma. At his home, a chit was waiting him, bearing the government stamp. It lay on his table like a high explosive, which, at a touch, might blow his flimsy bungalow to bits. He was going to be cashiered because he had not turned up at the party. When he opened the note, it proved to be quite different. An invitation from Mr. Fielding, the principal of Government College, asking him to come to tea the day after tomorrow. His spirits revived with violence. They would have revived in any case, for he possessed a soul that could suffer but not stifle, and led a steady life beneath his mutability. But this invitation gave him particular joy, because Fielding had asked him to tea a month ago, and he had forgotten about it. Never answered, never gone, just forgotten. And here came a second invitation without a rebuke or even allusion to his slip. Here was true courtesy, the civil deed that shows the good heart. And snatching up his pen, he wrote an affectionate reply, and hurried back for news to Hamdullah's. For he had never met the principal and believed that the one serious gap in his life was going to be filled. He longed to know everything about the splendid fellow, his salary, preferences, antecedents, how best one might please him. But Hamdullah was still out, and Mahmud Ali, who was in, would only make silly, rude jokes about the party. And we'll go on with Chapter 7 in the next video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. As Tigger says, ta-ta for now.